Instagram and what's up Facebook. Dexter and Tonya here. We're sitting on the front porch. Tonya wanted to come outside again.
I just love outdoors.
Yeah, so here we are.
I'm enjoying the outdoors, and it's a little nippier tonight, but it still feels good. You know, just got a little blanket, a little throw over me.
I got a little throw over my legs too. You know, I don't do throws. You know, men don't do throws.
So,
okay? I'm just gonna say that.
Well, you're with me.
Okay.
So
I'm with Tonya. So I got the little throw.
You just kind of cuddle up a little bit on the front porch.
So hey, what's going on again? Our family on Instagram and on Facebook. So hey, Dexter and Tonya here. We are here.
Good evening, Tiffany.
This is Stories That Matter, season 1, episode 15. So we're 15 in.
We're 15 in. Have you been enjoying them? Who's watched them? Who's
hey,
listened to them?
Yeah, have you guys been enjoying our stories?
Have you been drawing anything from them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Flamonica, what's happening?
Beautiful.
All right, so guys, we're going to get right into the story. This is a really good story. Hey, Demetria. Oh, is it?
You still can't go outside?
Yeah, she's dealing with the
I'm loving it. It's so pretty.
Yeah. All right, so this is a really good story. So you guys listen to this, okay? Hey, Kimberly. Okay, this is Don't Assume You're Going to Fail. Now, you guys listen. During a research experiment, a marine biologist placed a shark into a large holding tank and then released several small bait fish into the tank. As you would expect, the shark quickly swam around the tank, attacked, and ate the smaller fish. The marine biologist then inserted a strong piece of clear fiberglass into the tank, creating 2 separate partitions. She then put the shark on one side of the fiberglass and a new set of bait fish on the other. Again, the shark quickly attacked. This time, however, the shark slammed into the fiberglass divider and bounced off. Undeterred, the shark kept repeating this behavior every few minutes to no avail.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the bait fish swam around unharmed in the second partition. Eventually, about an hour into the experiment, the shark gave up. This experiment was repeated several dozen times over the next few weeks. Each time, the shark got less aggressive and made fewer attempts to attack the bait fish, until eventually the shark got tired of hitting the fiberglass divider and simply stopped attacking altogether. The marine biologist then removed the fiberglass divider, but the shark didn't attack. The shark was trained to believe a barrier existed between it and the bait fish. So the bait fish swam wherever they wished, free from harm. Wow. Okay, Tonya, let's go. What do you think?
I know.
That's a heavy story.
It really
you guys,
is.
Type. Let us know what you think about that story.
Yeah,
that story
talk to us.
Deep.
Really,
Right.
talk to us.
So we're gonna chat a little bit, and then you guys type into the
and engage,
comment section.
so that
What
we're
do you
engaging
think?
with each other too. And just, what do you think about that?
Don't assume you're going to fail. So what do you think, Tonya?
Wow. So basically, we have a shark here that, based on the title of this, Don't Assume You Are Going to Fail, he actually ended up drawing the conclusion that he was going to fail going after the bait fish. So he stopped pursuing them.
Right.
So the first time that those bait fish were put in the tank, he went after them. Yep, that's it. Programming is powerful. That's it. He went after them. And when he went after them, he got them. But now here's this thick old piece of fiberglass.
Right.
And he bumps into it. So he tried. But there's a couple of things in there. We heard that he tried, right? But how about the fact that he tried, but as he continued, he got less aggressive?
Right. See, that
stood out to me.
Right. So what does that say to you? Then
That stood out to me. That stood out to me. Well, it says that you don't try as hard. You don't put forth all of your effort. You don't, give it your best. You know, it makes me think about something we heard Twyla Porter say recently that, you know, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough, but just make sure you do all that you can do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it made me think about. But that right there was kind of big. It's
was.
like he got less aggressive.
Yeah.
Less aggressive.
Yeah, you guys that are just joining. So,
and then he quit.
Yeah, so the story was, don't assume you're going to fail. A shark put into a tank. They dropped some bait fish in there. The shark ate them all up. So then the marine biologist put in a fiberglass, clear fiberglass, and then the shark went to attack again and kept hitting up against the fiberglass. And eventually the shark just started to be less and less aggressive until eventually the shark gave up. An experiment that lasted, 12 weeks?
Yeah.
Over a period of weeks. And then they just put the shark and the bait fish in there without the fiberglass. And the shark didn't attack. So this is what I got from it.
Right.
So as the shark kept hitting that fiberglass, the very nature of the shark was compromised.
That's true.
Because
oh Jesus, that's good. Something just dropped on me, y'all.
because of circumstances and how hard the fight is, the very nature of the shark was compromised, and the shark allowed the conditioning process to affect its natural nature.
Come on.
So eventually the shark just gave up.
Talk to me.
You guys think about that.
Talk
right?
to me.
As life, we hit up against a brick wall. The process, however, is there to see if you are willing to go through it.
Wow.
So I can go a whole deal
look,
on that.
Look.
Yeah.
When I just shook like that, right? It's because, and I said, talk to me, because even earlier today, Dexter and I were in conversation. You guys know I talk to my husband a lot. You hear me say, okay, I need you to coach me, different things because of just my experiences. Our son is out here.
I'll be over there.
And I looked over at him and he was listening intently. I absolutely love it. So I can't wait for us to just talk with him more too. But anyway, when I was just saying to you, Dexter, talk to me. I love what you said. You said based on what he was going through, it basically compromised his true nature, who he is, right?
Yeah, let me restate that.
Okay.
The shark allowed the
situation
to compromise
who he is.
Not was, but who he is.
Yes, and that right there is what was so powerful to me too, because I was like, wow, that I have lived that. Many of you have heard my story. It's one I'll continue to share, but because it helps so many people. And you know me, I say it all the time, exposure brings closure. When you begin to expose things, that's what begins to unravel it and untangle it, and those things basically begin to loosen and fall off of you. So think about that. We go through things. There are things that happens to us in life, situations, maybe something that's spoken to you, about you, whatever it may be. But it still should not change or compromise the true essence of who you are unless you let it.
Right.
He was still a shark.
Right.
He still had all of those abilities. He would still go and pursue after those fish, those that they put in there, but because of his situation, it compromised it.
Yeah.
And even with that, it's always a solution. It's like testing some things. He was less aggressive, but to be a shark and to go and just kind of tap a little bit, until maybe like a bit by bit, you know what I mean? Just to keep trying. I don't know, that's really good. So I hope that you're hearing this now and listening to this, and it's helping you to even kind of look at some things in your own life. Have you compromised in any way who you are? Have you gotten less aggressive going after your dreams?
Because you keep hitting the fiberglass.
Because you keep hitting the fiberglass.
You're being processed, and
so
you
good.
are allowing the process
so good
to take out your very nature. Let me say this.
I've lived it.
You guys that are watching, please go back to the beginning. This story is probably one of the most powerful ones we've shared. The marine biologist in this story did the experiment. What we're telling you is, who are you allowing to be the marine biologist in your life? Because they are intentionally trying to break your spirit. They are intentionally trying to process you out of where you need to be. This is deep. The shark Think about the shark. Even at this point, could it be reversed?
Guilty, Maurice.
Could the shark go back to being who he is? Can you go back? This absolutely. So you need to take a look. If anybody is trying to be the marine biologist in your life,
come on,
and trying to process you out of what your very nature is, then you need to take a stand. I'm telling you, we have learned a lot of stuff.
This is so good.
People, the process.
I'm gonna be going live again soon.
You cannot get away from the process.
I want to talk to my
thick
girls.
The process is the process. We all have to be processed. The process is there to make sure that you are going to go through it to see that what's on the other side of the process is worth it for you. There's an author who wrote a book on that. I'm going to do some more research. We'll be back to share that with you.
Yeah.
But the process is there. However, there are people that are trying to keep you away from your divine nature, who you have been called to be, your true nature. There are people that are trying to take you out of that positioning. And so far, you've allowed it to happen.
And he's saying people. I've been wanting to get this in here because people, yes, but then also situations.
And situations.
You know, it could be people, but it could also be situations. You know, I can remember hearing, who was that? When I went to a conference I was a panelist on. What is her name? It was Jennifer's. It was the very first one she asked me to speak on. It may have been the name of that one too, but nonetheless, gosh, what's her name? But anyway, I can remember that was something that she was going after, and it didn't turn out to be what she thought. And remember, she was in the bed for days. I mean, who was that? Doreen Ramsey.
I think it's Ramsey. She used to work for Steve Harvey.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's who I'm speaking of.
Yeah.
And she went through something, and it didn't turn out the way she wanted it to, the way she was expecting. Mm-hmm. And it made her feel so bad about herself. She began to question her own abilities, all of that. And she was in the bed. She was like days just in the bed. And then finally one day she was like, what are you doing? But again, it could be people, even people in situations, but sometimes it could be a thing. Honestly, whatever the enemy will want to use to try to get you off, you know, and I say it all the time, there's nothing new under the sun, but he snatches, he steals, he kills, he destroys. What does he go after? You. And that's why you hear me say so often, both of us, I talk about your identity. I'm telling you, this is good, and it fits with everything.
Yeah,
it fits with everything. So I'm grateful.
Really great story. But look, I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get off.
Because we went a bit longer than what we thought, right?
To be long. However, let me drop this on you, and then we're gonna get off.
Thanks, Melody.
All right, this is gonna be a load for you. Are you ready? The Earth is experiencing a global reset.
Yeah.
So what's happening right now?
Yes.
If you start pulling down pictures of the national parks and all of the areas where animals were taken out of their natural habitat,
like Yosemite,
are now starting to go back into their natural habitat. So the culture, who they are,
is in them,
is going back out.
It's in them.
Everything is happening on a reset. So allow this, what we're going through right now, to be to be an example for you to reset who you are and go after it. That's it. You don't need nobody's permission. You don't need nobody to hold you back. You don't need anybody telling you who you're not. You need to just walk in who you are.
When you first started speaking, that's the thing that you used to say all the time. You used to talk to people about pressing the what?
The reset button. You got to press. This is a global opportunity for you to press the reset button. Don't miss it. Because once we're out of this thing, there's going to be a new normal. You want your new normal to be where you're walking in who God has called you to be.
Yeah.
So stop. What was the name of it again? Fear. Let me make sure I got the name of it right.
I know.
This story was powerful.
It is.
This is one of the best ones. Let's see.
I think that's it. Don't assume that you are going to fail.
Press the reset button.
Don't assume you are going to fail.
Right.
Regardless of what has happened.
That's good.
Don't assume you're going to fail.
Don't assume. So guys, listen.
Don't give away your citizenship.
Yeah. Tonya and I are giving you permission. If you don't need our permission, but we're just telling you, press the reset button. Don't assume you're going to fail. Just go after it. Don't be like the shark. Don't let somebody else or a circumstance take you out of your very nature of what you're supposed to be doing. So right now, allow this reset to put you in positioning to be who you're supposed to be. You're done?
Yeah,
right.
I
We're gonna
can
come
say
back.
I
We're gonna
can
come
say
back.
some more, but I mean I know we
Yeah.
said
All
I
right.
think I'm gonna come back. Y'all stay tuned.
Our longest
I'm
short
gonna come
story ever.
back.
But
I'm gonna
guys,
come back.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, listen, this is Dexter and Tonya Scott. Stories That Matter. This is season 1, episode 15. All right. We are the upgraders. We may not know you,
But we know what's in you.
all right. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.